Okay. Alrighty, thank you.
McIntyre and Associates at 304-232-8600. Allow us to help put you back on the road to financial success.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Monday. Look for mostly cloudy skies with scattered showers and thunderstorms, a daytime high near 84. Better chance of seeing showers through the evening and the overnight, with temperatures down to 58 for the low. Mostly cloudy to start your Tuesday off, but clouds will break for sunshine late, with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Good morning. What day is it?
Monday, June 14th is Flag Day.
Today is Monday.
Today is Flag Day.
Now raise that flag.
Raise the flag.
Raise the flag.
Here they come. Raise the flag.
You're a grand old flag.
You'll find true love on Flag Day. Why, it's Flag Day today. Now take your position. It's showtime.
Celebrating the 100 days of summer, this is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Indeed, happy Flag Day to you on day number 15 of the 100 days of summer. 65 and foggy at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 63 and foggy here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and 62 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. As you heard in the forecast, going to be a foggy morning, a little bit of sunshine come the mid-morning hours, and then by afternoon, I'm going to see some showers and thunderstorms coming in. The Storm Prediction Center has the Ohio Valley in a marginal risk for severe weather later on today. We had, some biffy, real gully washers over the weekend, but they were like just 5 minutes and then they went away. I mean, yesterday afternoon, it just poured down for a while. But it was real quick. It just came and it went.
Yeah, and then it didn't help with it being so humid that it rained, and it actually felt warmer than it did before it rained because it was so darn humid.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what a mess they had in Morgantown yesterday. I didn't have a chance. We were talking in the last segment with John Kilwine, who's a WVU professor of political science, and I wanted to talk about Manchin and top of the Democratic Party and stuff in West Virginia, so I didn't get a chance to ask him how things were. He alluded to it at one point, but it was just, what a mess down there. What an absolute mess they had in Morgantown and surrounding areas yesterday. It reminded me, Biff, of the big flood. What year was that? The Elm Grove flood, when the whole area here in the Upper Ohio, it was the first year that the Watchdog went on the air.
04.
And just boy. And then Bob Ney, former Congressman Bob Ney, has posted some stuff today, taking us back to the 1990 Shadyside flood. Which I remember.
Yeah, I remember
extremely well as well.
I remember the 90 flood on the island. It just got into the street and up to the steps by our house, and our neighbor across the street at the time, he was still alive, and he had a canoe. So I went for a canoe ride down South Front Street during 1990 at the age of 6.
Well, just something to remember, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I never forgot that. I just remember being in a canoe, just riding down the front street in the flood.
Shady Side and Ouija Creek, particularly hard hit back in that 90 flood. Horrific stories of death and destruction there. If you want to kind of reflect on it, again, Congressman Ney has a link to the Shady Side Flood Central website where there's all that memory there. And again, the other one that I couldn't help but think of was 2004 when I remember my buddy Barry Crow, councilman, called me and goes, Howard, Elm Grove is underwater. And I don't know, but I didn't exactly laugh. I was like, oh, okay. He goes, no, you don't understand. Elm Grove is underwater. And then I realized how bad it was. What a many people couldn't get anywhere. Whew. And it was a bit like that down in Morgantown yesterday. So I hope those folks all can dry out and it works out. 9:13 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Wheeling Council's Health and Recreation Committee met last week, and they are talking about, and I don't think this is actually ready for ordinance stage yet, but they're talking about the possibility of a homeless liaison, hiring someone in the city of Wheeling to coordinate issues involving homelessness. Now, we know homelessness is a big issue here in the Upper Ohio Valley, certainly in the city of Wheeling. We want to deal with it appropriately and properly, but the question is it something the city ought to have a human being under city government authority coordinating? Council Vice Mayor Chad Thalman raised some questions about it at the meeting this past week, and Rosemary Ketchum is the chair of that committee. She introduced this concept of a homeless liaison. But Councilman Ben Seidler is just not sure it's a good idea at all to have a person working for the city to coordinate this stuff. Am I expressing it correctly, Ben? That's your concern? You just don't think we need a person in the city doing this?
Well, good morning, Howard. I think it's a little bit more complex than that. Obviously I'm a huge proponent of anything we can do in the city to help put an end to a person's homelessness. And I always use that phrase, put an end to a person's homelessness, because, the response is always, we're never going to end homelessness, but we can do things in our power to end a person's homelessness or a family's homelessness. But I just don't think that position is right underneath the umbrella of the city. I don't think we're subject matter experts on the topic of homelessness. And I think that's what it comes down to. I think there are plenty of organizations in the city that specialize in this, and if it were up to me, I would rather see that position funded, and even if we paid for it, which I'm not against, I would just rather see that position fall underneath an organization like perhaps the Greater Wheeling Coalition for the Homeless, who happens to oversee the Northern Panhandle Continuum of Care, and their primary mission is ending homelessness. So, my family and I, we're a big proponent of helping the homeless. My fiance and I coordinate a homeless dinner every Saturday down at Center Wheeling to feed the homeless. So it's something that's near and dear to our heart. Just know that our city has our hands in a lot of different things, and we are not necessarily, I hate to say it, but I don't really think we're the subject matter experts. I don't think we're equipped to really know what to do. And with all the organizations that are out there already working on it, I think it's a better decision for us to put our weight and our support behind one organization or a group of organizations and help them with whatever they need within reason to help make a dent in the problem.
I have not talked to Rosemary about this yet, and I will. But it seems to me, I think I tend to lean in your direction, at least right now. I'm just not sure what a city homeless liaison would do. We have numerous entities here in the Ohio Valley that deal with the issue of homelessness from a variety of different points of view, everything from the Coalition for the Homeless to Project Hope to the Street Moms. There are all kinds of ways that are dealing with it. I mean, I guess we should throw in law enforcement. They deal with it from a legal point of view. I'm just not sure what a city individual would do to be involved with homelessness. I'm confused. Did you get a sense of that at the committee meeting? Did Councilwoman Ketchum give you a sense of how she felt this would work?
She did, and you know what I should have led with? I'm really excited that this topic is on our radar now, and I'm going to backtrack just a little bit because, the fact that everybody in our circle here on council is now engaged and talking about this issue, that's incredible, by the way. And major shout out to Councilwoman Ketchum, who is, championing this ordinance to get something done. And I'm really proud of all of them and all of us, for taking steps to actually do it. But, to get back to the point, one of the things is that a lot of these organizations don't play well nicely together. And that's not to say they all don't, just a lot of them don't. And there's no, for one example, there's no consistent or consensus on the count of folks that are homeless at any one time. And they're not really all willing to give up that information to each other. And that's part of the issue. So we've got some organizations whose mission is to make life more comfortable and give kind of the dignity back to some of these folks that are lacking it. And there's a lot to be said from that. But at the same time, making the homeless folks incredibly comfortable is not necessarily, in my opinion, the most productive method in helping them get back on their feet. And again, if anybody didn't hear me say it, we feed homeless folks every Saturday. We have a huge heart for it. But what I would rather see is a path where, we put our weight behind one organization or a couple of organizations, and those organizations are tasked with going down a couple different paths. So when they get folks kind of in the funnel, if you will, we help them, whether it's a mental health track, help them get the mental health things they need, whether it's drug and alcohol abuse, help them down that path, whether it's just housing. And, people fall on hard times. There's not many people in our city that are probably less than or more than one or two paychecks away from being homeless. I mean, on any given day, that probably applies to a lot of folks out there, myself included. So, when those hard times happen, we want to have the resources and we want to do that. But the goal in that is it doesn't do us a whole lot of good just to have the number and have somebody kind of be our central person that keeps us informed on it. That's great. The problem is, and I think the goal is to have somebody in the city that helps take all of these organizations and try to bring them together and coordinate, facilitate their efforts, together. But I just don't think that's necessarily our role at the city level. And I think that the job description that Councilwoman Ketchum has been working on, I think it's fantastic. And I think that job description would be great underneath a different organization. I just don't think the city is the subject matter experts to kind of own that position. And like I mentioned, I'm perfectly fine if we fund that position using CBDG funds or any other funds that are eligible to that. I think we could probably use CBDG, but I'm perfectly fine with putting our money where our mouth is. I just don't think that we're the right organization to have that under our umbrella.
I think your point about, and I would agree, there's probably a need, as there is in almost every area of the city where we have more than one entity working on a problem. There probably is a need for greater coordination. I sense that among the groups working on homelessness, that they have different approaches and different styles and maybe even different goals. And somehow that needs to be coordinated. I'm in for that.
And that could also, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that could also be part of the job description that we would fund through an external organization to be responsible for coordinating those things. As part of the job description that we, the shared job description that we're willing to fund,
Yeah, again, I'm with you. I think that maybe some kind of, or some kind of a commission. I'm not saying an official city commission, but some kind of a coordinating committee that the city could maybe help to put together. And like you say, maybe even fund a position at some point if that comes out of this group as a way to coordinate these things. I'm just not. I'm leaning your way, Ben. I'm just not sure it's a city. I just don't see the value of a city employee being the person to oversee this. I see the potential problems, i.e. as in coordinating different efforts. And I certainly see the need. We have a homeless issue here in the city that needs to continue to be addressed. But I'm having a hard time getting my head around why the city would hire a person to be the coordinator there.
That's where I'm at. And, like I said, the Wheeling Homeless Coalition oversees the continuum for care for the Northern Panhandle. And right now, there's more than 40 nonprofits and service providers that belong to that Northern Panhandle continuum of care. And they help design the local strategic plan. They contribute to ideas such as regional committees. I mean, they represent the entire geographic area. Some of those members include the Salvation Army, the YWCA, Northwood Health Systems, Catholic Charities. I mean, the list goes on. These are all organizations that do incredible work. And I just don't feel like sticking another organization in the middle of that without any kind of, I mean, we're never gonna be smarter than all of these organizations put together. So the concept of finding a person, a liaison, absolutely makes sense, and I'm 100% for that. I just think that if we put our weight and our energy and our support behind the one organization in the city who's really legitimately tasked with putting an end to homelessness and who already coordinates that continuum of care for all those more than 40 nonprofits that are already doing this, that's the way to go. That's the smart way to go, and we could be more helpful, we could be more productive without trying to reinvent the wheel.
So the committee, the Health and Recreation Committee, will continue to discuss that at this whole thing at the next meeting, is my understanding, right?
Yes. And again, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm being difficult or anything like that. I 100% believe in the work that we're doing here. And again, I'll just, send a major shout out to Councilwoman Ketchum, who's spearheading this, because I think she's on the right track. And as well as the mayor, they've both been actively a part of this. We had a meeting with, we set up a meeting along with Susie Nelson from the
Community Foundation.
The Community Foundation, with all these organizations last year to bring them all together. And, the one thing we found out is just that everybody's hearts are in the right place, but they're just, the left hand's not talking to the right, and that's the problem. And, they're going to get angry at me for saying that. And, the ones that are going to get angry, you're not the ones I'm talking about. So, these organizations know who the players are, and they know which ones are being productive. But we have to get to a point where it's okay for homelessness not to be comfortable. That doesn't mean we don't give these folks their dignity. That doesn't mean we don't help feed them, make sure they're safe, make sure all those things. We have a duty to do that, a responsibility. Even as elected officials, we're here to represent the people that are in properties in our city, but also the ones that aren't. I mean, we represent every single person that lives within our district, whether that's in a physical building or not. So, not only a moral obligation, but an ethical obligation as well. And I'm really glad to see that the entire city council really is on board with the need to help make this problem less of a problem, make it better. But we just have to find the healthy balance. And we've got to do it in a way that, puts the right resources in the right place, but also helps people get past their homelessness. Whether that's getting their IDs, helping them find housing, those things like that. I mean, those are all really important things. But at the end of the day, we also can't have homeless encampments behind playgrounds and behind baseball fields and along the walking trails and the creek streams where drugs and paraphernalia and again, the usual story. Not one homeless person defines the rest of the homeless people. The one thing we've learned by hosting this homeless dinner every week is that there are a lot of great homeless folks out there. These are great people. A lot of them are veterans. A lot of them had great jobs until they had family circumstances or life circumstances that just absolutely rocked their world. And these are great people, and there's a significant number of these folks that could very much go back to being productive members of society with just helping, facilitate the process. And we've met enough people that have fallen on hard times with addiction and alcohol problems that are now cleaned up, that are helping our cause and being a part of our organization and other organizations that are success stories. So there are enough success stories out there of incredible people that really show all the proof in the world that we shouldn't just throw our hands up and give up on these people. Well, no, we should really do what we can to make life better. But we've got to make those decisions and take those steps in a very strategic way that makes sense and kind of encourages these folks to get out of the cycle of homelessness and not make it comfortable to live there.
And what I like is that this council, you guys are taking up a variety of different issues and vetting them in public, which I like. I mean, there have been a couple of different proposals. One of them, one was yours, kind of got shot down so far, the rental inspection program. This one, but I like the idea that ideas are being tossed out and then being debated in public, at a committee meeting and on the radio and in the newspaper or what have you. And the public has a better chance to sort of follow the thinking process instead of being presented with a fait accompli as we have sometimes in the past. So
absolutely. And the whole story about the definition of a camel, right? The definition of a camel is a horse that was designed by a committee, right? So when we get the right people in the room and we bring it out to the public, we might start with an idea. We might start with something that we think this is perfect, designed by a handful of people in a committee room. But when we get it out there, we find out perhaps maybe it's not. So we really, council's really embraced this, and getting the community feedback and getting people involved is absolutely what we should be doing as lawmakers.
And I appreciate your time this morning. Got to move on. Thanks for joining me. Always good conversation. Again, I'm going to talk to Councilwoman Ketchum, try and get a better sense of her ideas on this. But I'm with you. I think that we need to address homelessness, and I think there is a real issue in the city. I'm not calling it a problem. There's an issue in the city, some of which are problems. Got to be looked at from all the different perspectives that we are looking at them from. But I just am not sure the city itself is the place where you put that coordinator. But maybe I'll be convinced differently too. I don't know. In the meantime, I appreciate your time today. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Howard.
All right, talk to you soon. Ben Seidler, Wheeling Councilman, 2nd Ward. He's from the island, represents downtown, and I think it's a little tiny part of East Wheeling too, I think. Anyway, good conversation. And I do like that, Biffy. We're seeing a number of different issues get tossed out and talked about at the committee level publicly. None of this behind closed doors or quiet meetings or, phone calls with people, but we're seeing these kind of things discussed in a very public way. And that gives all of us a chance to learn more about it and to have put our input into it. So, we shall see. I reached out to Ben just very quickly over the weekend, and I did not reach out to Rosemary yet. I'll try and do that today and see if she'll come on and join us, because she may have a little better explanation in terms of why this would be a city function. I think the idea of a liaison for the homelessness is good, or coordinator, maybe it's a better phrase. I'm just not sure why it would reside inside city government, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see if Rosemary can join us and talk about it. Is it 9:30 already? Have we sped through the show this fast already, Biff?
It is 9:30. You are correct.
Holy mackerel. Listen, I got to talk to you about getting into your new home, and I want to make sure you're not I have a list here of the things that nobody over the age of 30 ought to have in their house. So when we come back, I want to make sure that you're not putting any of this stuff in your house, Biffy.
Okay.
Time to be an adult.
Okay. We'll go with that, sure.
We'll talk about it. Coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Back in a minute. Okay, I'm back.
The Watchdog.
Get 5-star tools for your 5-star dad with battery power made by Steel. From mowers and blowers to trimmers and more, with the AK Homeowner Series starting at $199.99, Dad can get the work done quickly and make more time for what really matters. Shop online at steelusa.com/gift guide. Pick up at over 10,000 local Steel dealers. All prices MSRP, includes battery and charger, are available at participating dealers. Dad doesn't quit until the job is done. So get him gas-powered tools from Steel that can keep up with him. From chainsaws and trimmers to blowers and more, Steel has the tools Dad needs. With legendary Steel gas-powered equipment starting at $139.99. Shop online at steelusa.com/gift guide. Pick up at over 10,000 local Steel dealers. All prices MSRP, available at participating dealers.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
Value starts here at your Toyota dealer with savings and reliability you can count on. So check out a RAV4 with up to $750 cash back, or an all-wheel drive Venza Hybrid now with $1,000 cash back, or go with a Highlander now with $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great deals. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end July 6th. Toyota, let's go places.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Tackle tough jobs with Bosch Power Tools. Bosch packs the performance and features you need to get the job done right the first time. Check out our large in-stock selection of Bosch tools, all 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through June 19th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Valley Grove. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Valley Grove trusts the Watchdog.
We're on air, online, on video, and on demand. Find us where you like us. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Let's see. Storm Tracker 7 says 65 degrees and still foggy at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. My own little weather center here at the home studio in Elm Grove says it's partly cloudy and a temperature 63 degrees here in Elm Grove. And actually, it's partly cloudy, but the sun is actually showing outside. We do look for some showers and thunderstorms coming up this afternoon. 9:38, 22 till the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Biffy, you are soon to be, well, you are a homeowner now. You'll soon be moving into your new home. And I suppose you're starting to think about all the things you're going to, move to the house and maybe add some new things and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, kind of got that all sort of figured out now.
An interior designer put out a list of things that no one over the age of 30 should ever have in their house. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you. This is a really stupid list. But I've got it here, so I just want to check and see, since you're over 30, right, Biff?
Yes, over 30.
Yeah, over 30. I just want to see if you're putting any of these things in your house. Shot glasses used for display. Now, it says here, keep them around to use them. You can keep them around to get your shot of Fireball, but don't put them out for display so people knows you went to Key West or wherever. Do you put shot glasses on display?
No, nothing on display.
No, we don't. Never did. Always bought shot glasses when Nancy and I first got married and did a lot of traveling. We would buy shot glasses. The idea was it was going to be a little collector's thing, but it never did. They're just sitting in the cupboard now. So that's one thing not to have. Something else not to have in your house: anything space themed, like sheets or blankets with moon and star patterns, or oh, please tell me you don't have this, Bivy. Glow-in-the-dark stars that stick on your ceiling. You don't have those, do you?
No, I like to keep it simple.
Okay. All right. It says it should not have anything space themed. I don't, what about like comic book theme? Could you have Avengers blankets or anything? Because I think they're kind of cool.
No, it'll be simple.
A super old mattress. Nothing over 10 years old. How old is your mattress?
I don't even know.
10 years?
I couldn't tell you.
Better get a new one, or else you're going to upset this interior designer, as if you would care.
Yeah.
Things you should not have in your house after 30. Plastic cups, plates, and silverware. It's time to level up, get some nice silverware. Do you have real silverware?
Yeah, actually, I'll probably have a mixture because I've got there's no dishwasher, so it'll probably be a little bit of both, just to save on having to wash dishes.
Okay.
So there's reasoning behind having plastic stuff.
Now this next one I don't get. I guess maybe it's a girl thing. I guess stuffed animals on your bed. Do you have stuffed animals on your bed, Biff?
Hell no.
I mean, jeez, I don't. It's a little weird if you do, I think. And this one, I don't understand. The number one thing not to have in your house if you're over the age of 30, inflatable furniture. What does that mean? What is it? I mean,
like a
waterbed, maybe?
Waterbed, beanbag chair, maybe. Stuff that you would think college kids would take with them to a dorm.
Okay, I guess, maybe. We have beanbag chairs around the house, but they're mainly for Teddy.
Or like, other than mattresses, like, I don't know what else they use those air pumps for that you gotta, pump like a...
Yeah, an air mattress.
Yeah.
But, I mean, inflatable furniture, yeah, an air mattress, that's... Once you get past that, and if a beanbag chair is considered inflatable furniture, okay. Once you get past air mattress... I mean, do people have inflatable armchairs or something?
If they do, I've never seen them. The only thing I've seen are the beds.
I don't think you should have that in your house over 30, under 30, or quite frankly, at any time, anywhere, any place.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense. And this is something I don't even know what it is. It says nobody over the age of 30 ought to have paper floor lamps. What's a paper floor lamp?
No clue.
I don't know. It says they were great in college or in your late 20s, but not by the time you're 30. I don't even know what that, I can't picture in my head. A paper floor lamps? I mean, to me, that's as much an oxymoron as inflatable furniture. I'm just, what kind of house is this that has inflatable furniture and paper floor lamps? This is like some kind of a...
Again, it sounds more like a college dorm.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the point of this guy's comments is, once you grow up, you got to stop acting like you're living in your dorm. But dorm or no dorm, well, I guess inflatable furniture. Yeah, we did have air mattresses. I guess so. Inflatable furniture, stuffed animals on your bed. Again, maybe gals may do something different. They may have little, but nah. I gotta tell you, if I go into some guy's house and he's got stuffed animals on his bed, I'm probably getting out quick.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyway, all right, so it looks like you're going to be okay, Biff. When you move in, you'll be okay. You're not going to have any of these bad things in your house, so that's good. Did you have any pizza lately?
Yeah, Friday night, actually. Couple pieces.
What you have?
Pepperoni and cheese.
And did you make it yourself, or did you buy it?
No, it was
someplace,
at the party we had at
the
Undo's
party. Okay,
down
all
in
right.
Benwood. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm a pretty standard guy. I mean, I like pepperoni and cheese, sausage, mushrooms, olives. I can go with that stuff. Onions. But if you are particularly experimental, Biffy, take a trip to Dayton, Ohio, where the Pizza Bandit has made, and I've got a picture of it right here for those of you who want to see it on the video screen, is making cicada pizzas.
Okay.
Just a basic pizza, and then they take, I assume dead cicadas and just crumble them all over the pizza. I don't know. Well, I do know. I do know. I'm not trying that.
No, especially because how long have they been dead for?
Well, there's lots of questions I have here. For one thing, the owner even says, we're not sure if we legally can sell you cicadas.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, we don't know if actually we can even legally do this. They did a live stream of a tasting panel trying out the pizza. So it was your basic pizza with mozzarella, provolone, mushrooms, green onions. So far, everything's okay. Sriracha sauce. Okay. Mango, cilantro, and a spicy Thai sauce, all mixed in. And then over top of that, crumbled cicadas. The proverbial 17-year locust. Food and Drug Administration says cicadas are not toxic, but still says probably not best to eat them.
That's all I needed to hear.
The comments on the pizza from their taste test, some people said, boy, delicious. One guy said, well, yeah. that was his comment. Well, yeah. The FDA says, in case, my favorite foods, Biff, are shrimp, lobster, crabs, right?
Yeah.
The FDA says the cicadas are a family relative to shrimp and lobster.
How?
I don't know. I mean, they have shells. Shrimp has shells. Lobster has shells. Crab has shells. Cicadas have shells.
That's like
But I just can't. Somehow they don't.
That's like if you
opening up a nice crab cluster and pulling out that nice big piece of meat. Ooh, yeah. Opening up the cicada shell and pulling out the.
No, if you gave me that list and said which one doesn't belong, I'm going to say the cicada.
Yeah,
It's just.
But if you all want one, the Pizza Bandit in Dayton is selling cicada pizzas. Even though they say we don't know if we're legally allowed to do that or not. I told you I get stuff from a website called Eater.com, Biffy. Eater did a look at blizzards, Dairy Queen blizzards. Do you like a blizzard?
Oh, I love blizzards.
What's your favorite blizzard?
Oh boy. As long as it's not their seasonal ones, probably cookie dough.
That's good. Cookie dough, I think cookie dough is not the same as brownie dough, I don't think, because Eater has a list of the blizzards, a couple of good ones. If you want a good blizzard, as in healthy, the Choco Dipped Strawberry Blizzard is low in calories, low in fat, and is overall as healthy as you're going to get. The worst blizzard to order, the Brownie Dough Blizzard. Now, I'm like you, I do love the cookie dough blizzard. My oldest son, Jason, when we order, say, Jason, you want a blizzard? Yes. And I don't even ask him what he wants. He wants a large Oreo blizzard, extra Oreos. That's what he gets all the time. But the worst blizzard at Dairy Queen to order would be the Brownie Dough Blizzard, just in case you're curious. 1,400 calories, which is like, half of the caloric intake for the day, right? 65 grams of fat, which is almost as much fat as you're supposed to eat a day, and 193 carbohydrates. Now, it's no secret, I pay no attention to these kinds of things. my belief is if I like it, I eat it. Although I don't know that I've tried brownie dough. But I'm like you, cookie dough, yeah, baby.
Yes.
Why don't you, Biffy? It takes you back to the days when you go into your grandmother's house and she'd be making cookies and let you have the cookie dough batter, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one, it would be cookie dough. But, I mean, Oreo was another favorite. Heath, another one. And again, depending on what... I think now they've got the Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies. It's their seasonal.
They've got a couple of nice seasonal flavors now.
Usually I'll get one of the depending on the type of season, because it doesn't matter what it is. It could be 5 degrees outside and I could eat ice cream. It doesn't bother me. So depending on what their seasonal is, I'll usually have a couple of their seasonal ones thrown in with the usual ones that I like.
Yeah, there's never a bad time for ice cream. I'm with you. I mean, certainly on a sweltering hot day, it's particularly good, right? But there's never a bad time for ice cream.
No.
Never a bad time at all. All right, 10 before the hour. 2 questions for you, Biff. Do I need to do a break?
We got everything in. We're good.
And is Bob with us yet?
We are still waiting for Bob.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for him, I'm not going to mention the restaurant. It's not around here, but I don't want to give the chain a bad name either. But a fast food restaurant in Indiana had to fire an employee, and you wonder what prompts people to do this. The employee wrote a homophobic slur on the couple's receipt. And I've got a copy of, I didn't print the picture out. I guess I didn't. I literally saw a copy of the receipt. And so these 2 guys say they've been eating at this particular restaurant a lot. They went to the counter, they ordered. The cashier that helped us seemed really new, a little bit awkward, but very nice. So he said it was just kind of an ordinary fast food experience until they got their receipt. And where it said, and now, because I forgot to print it, whether it's where it said name of customer or customer table, or however it was identifying the customer, right? The guy had written, and I won't say it, a homophobic, a word for homosexuals that, how shall I say it, rhymes with drag.
Oh, okay.
And the guy wrote that on a receipt. I mean, how stupid do you have to be? And we hear this all the time, these people who write on receipts,
And why? What's the point?
I mean, if you are homophobic or not, don't write it down. I mean, don't be homophobic, but if you don't write it down, that's just stupid. It's just stupid. So the guys who placed the order said we were shocked, absolutely shocked. This has never happened in all of our years. I've been to this particular place a number of times. They confronted the cashier. The manager was called in, and eventually the guy was fired. And I can't imagine any explanation he could have given that would have kept him from being fired, right? I mean, I don't know.
Well, and now if you're the manager of that, whatever the fast food restaurant is, you hope now that because of one act, you didn't, or one person, you didn't lose 2 customers because of that.
Right, exactly. And now I'm not using, the story I have here tells the name of the restaurant and the place. I'm not going to use the name of the restaurant. A, it wasn't around here. B, it's one I actually like. It's a fast food chain I like. And it's unfair, I think, to try and shame the entire chain because of the actions of one employee. But this story, which came to me from a local newspaper in Indiana, it does list the restaurant. And it's a terrible publicity for the restaurant. Terrible publicity for the restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, so now you got 2 things. One, you got bad pub, and 2, you hope you didn't lose customers.
Right. And I can't help but think in the area where this occurred, since the store was mentioned, that they will lose customers. Now, the fact that the restaurant stepped in and fired the offending employee immediately may be helpful to him, but still.
Not that it...
there are things, though, that I just don't get. Why do people write this stuff down? I mean, no matter what you think, don't you know this kind of stuff will come back to haunt you?
Does it say the name of the town? I mean, not that it matters, but is it a college town in Indiana, or is it just like a regular?
That's a great question. And let me see. Lafayette, Indiana.
Lafayette. Okay, I think
that
that's...
That sounds like a college town, actually.
You know what? I think that might be where, if it's not Lafayette, it's West Lafayette, where Purdue University is located.
Okay.
I think they're either Lafayette or West Lafayette. But that does sound familiar to me too. Like it is a college town, and I think it's Purdue.
Yeah, it sounds like a college town to me. I'm not sure, but anyway, Lafayette, Indiana. And again, I'm not even sure why the newspaper needed to print the name of the restaurant, because the restaurant acted responsibly. The owners did.
Yeah,
immediately firing the employee.
Yeah, how many times do we see? Well, they might keep them for a couple days and look over it and everything. No, they just said, you know what. We're going to be proactive, and right away we're going to take care of the situation because we don't want it to get worse than what we're probably going to have to deal with.
Let me see that receipt, please. Huh. Yep, it says...
Yeah,
Excuse me, George, collect your things, you're done. I mean, that was very quick, so... Anyways, a few odds and ends I thought you might appreciate here this morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. 9:55, 5 before the hour. Is Bob with us yet? I'll ask again.
No, I'm still waiting.
Then I'm going to ask you a question, Biffy.
Yes.
How much would you pay to go on a spacecraft into space?
I would say probably, I don't know, maybe 20.
It's an unfair question, really.
20,000.
Yeah, okay. I mean, what you and I can't compete with these people. We told you recently, Jeff Bezos is going to go up in the next capsule that his company, the Blue Origin, is the name of the space company. The next time they send a rocket up to the limits of space, Bezos is going to fly in it, and he auctioned off a seat to sit beside him going up into space. It was auctioned off this weekend, Biffy. $28 million.
Wow.
$28 million. Now, first place, I'm not sure that any of these are ready yet for space exploration, so I'm probably not yet ready to take the trip, but I would like to someday be able to go up there, right?
Not for $28 million.
Not for $28 million, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It doesn't say... It does not say who made the bid. The winner will be joining Jeff Bezos on the New Shepard spacecraft for an 11... By the way, do the math on this. It's 11 minutes. 28 million divided by 11 minutes. How much is that per minute? It's an 11 million trip to go to the edge of space. July 20th is blast-off date. Oh, it says the name of the winner will be released in coming weeks.
Rounded up, it'd be 2.55
million.
Yeah. 28 divided
per minute.
Yeah, 28, yeah.
Count to 60 and imagine 2.5 million going down the drain.
That's someone that doesn't know what to do with 28 million and wanted to get rid of it.
That's exactly right. Anyways, it's going up July 20th. Jeff Bezos himself will be on it, and this $28 million winner will be on it, and I'll be watching, but that's just all I'm going to do. And speaking of all I'm going to do, that's all I'm going to do for today, because I'm going to say sayonara, see ya, bye-bye, farewell. I got to go. I got to get out of here. Kercheval, I don't know if Hoppy's up today or not. I did not hear from Hoppy all morning long, and I usually do. I'm going to assume that Kercheval has the calm coming up next. As for me, good Lord willing, creeks don't rise, bat phone doesn't ring, don't get impeached, don't retire, ticker keeps on ticking, and all good things continue in my life. And most importantly, grandson Teddy says, it's all right. You can go back to work tomorrow, Granddad. I shall return tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock on the go, round of the big gig. Are you with me, Biffy?
I will join you for a Tuesday.
We will keep on doing it until we get it right.
That could be a long time.
Indeed.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From AB.
All right, Biffy, we made it through. Not too bad. Had to tap dance there again, but yeah, we got it done. I've got Squiddieri tomorrow, and I'll see maybe if Rosemary wants to come on. Something will probably develop during the day. I thought it was going to be a quiet weekend, and then that homeless thing popped up from the newspaper. That was at least something to talk about. So we'll see what develops, what kind of news develops during the day, and we'll figure something for tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to get some breakfast, I think. Nancy left. I don't know where she went. She left me a note, said, I'm going out and about. Okay. I don't know where out and about is, but I think that means I'm going to have breakfast. And I should be home all day, so if you need me, just give me a call. Otherwise, I'll talk to you in the morning. All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Bye.
And on the verge of recording, more than 600,000 people have lost COVID altogether. Michelle Pressler lost her husband last month.
It's not over. And there are plenty of people with COVID in the hospital, very sick and dying still.
Benjamin Netanyahu, who has been Prime Minister of Israel for the past 12 years, is Prime Minister of Israel no more.
By just one vote, he was cast out by Parliament. He's been replaced by this slightly unwieldy coalition that's going to be led by two prime ministers, each serving 2 years. The first, Naftali Bennett, is even more hardline than Netanyahu, but for now, he's calling for ideological restraint. But not much sign of that at protests, calling him a traitor.
ABC's Ian Panel. Armed attacks over the weekend in Austin, Chicago, Savannah, Georgia. 8 mass shootings, those with 4 or more people wounded or killed. A heat wave blanketing much of the West Coast and mountain states. Salt Lake City could reach or surpass its all-time high June record of 105. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient, or